Marlon Moraes once again lived up to his nickname with some magic on Saturday night against Rafael Assunção in the UFC on ESPN Plus 2 headliner in Fortaleza, Brazil. A sensational performance from Moraes, who avenges his June 2012 loss to Assunção, a split decision with a sick first-round submission victory. A huge performance by Moraes, who goes out there, drops Assunção, gets on top of him, puts some work in, and then finds a way to end the fight by submission. Just a huge dominant performance by him that really showed that Moraes, if there was any doubt, is the real deal in the bantamweight division. He is now a ridiculous 17-1 in his past 18 fights dating back to December 2011. The only loss in that stretch was that first fight with Assunção, and of course he has now avenged that in a definitive manner, and that really puts him at the top of the heap at 135 pounds. In any ordinary situation, a title shot should be next for Moraes, but we don't know what's going on. The bantamweight division is utter chaos at this point. TJ Dillashaw just recently knocked out by flyweight champion Henry Cejudo at UFC on ESPN Plus 1 in January, and we really don't know what the future is going to hold for Dillashaw. He wants to have a rematch with Cejudo. He wants to do it at 125 pounds, going down again. Cejudo's down to do a rematch there. He also wants to come up and challenge Dillashaw at 135 pounds. So it leaves everything in a really complicated situation, but there's one thing for certain: Moraes should be fighting for the belt, and I think a heat fight against Dillashaw, very, very interesting. I also want to see Dillashaw fight Cejudo again, just to get that whole thing cleared up. I think it is a bit weird to have a champion coming off a loss in that situation, but nonetheless, maybe the UFC decides to go forward and give Moraes a title shot. Either way, he said post-fight that he has some contract issues with the UFC. He feels that he deserves a new deal worth more for him, considering the performances he's been putting in. Who knows how this thing's going to unfold. We do know that Moraes has put in the work. He has put together the win streak to get a title shot in the bantamweight division, and if I were him, I would not be stepping in the cage unless it is a fight for that UFC gold.